Welcome to Allies or Enemies. This time we are talking about Inori. Our copy was provided for review, but the thoughts in this video are all our own. Inori is a 2 to 4 player game designed by Mathieu Aubert and Théo Rivière, with art by Suzanne Demontrond. It is a purposely simple and quite pretty worker placement game about making offerings to adorable spirits in your quest to be named this year's Keeper of the Great Tree. We will come back to that though. For now, let's look at how it plays.
You start Inori with a few offering markers and a board full of spirit cards just waiting for your gifts. On your turn, you place one of your markers on a space either on the board or on one of the cards. The cards generally give you favor tokens in one of 6 colors, or score for the favor tokens you already have, while the board also lets you add a scoring token to the Great Tree, which will allow you to both take an action and add a scoring tile that will impact the value of the different favors at the end of the game. Both of these may also give you rune tiles, which provide both favors and one-time offering placement powers. Once everyone has placed all of their markers, cards that were filled allow players to score favor points and are replaced by same color cards, while cards that weren't filled are replaced by opposite colored cards. Plus, a new card is added and players gain another marker, and then you do it all again. After 6 rounds of collecting and scoring favors, players gain extra points for favor majorities depending on those tokens placed on the Great Tree. And then the new Keeper of the Great Tree is named.
This is a really pretty game. The cards are the focus, and they are all different and all lovely, with cute forest spirits art that has a different personality for each color. And if you line up all the cards in any one color, there seems to be actually a little story being told, which is a great little touch. The favor tokens are also great. They're all wooden and nice and chunky, making it easy to see how many you have at a glance, which is good for a game with a lot of counting. And the little offering markers and the board all add to the overall gentle feel of everything. The iconography is also generally pretty easy to figure out, even for new players. And the box makes it easy to keep sorted and set up quick. If there is a negative here, it is the rune tiles that seem weirdly dull compared to everything else, and had a few icons we found tricky to decode, but otherwise, everything in the game has a kind of Zen charm to it.
This is a tight, quick game, so the replayability will come largely from it being easy to reset and play again. You will only see maybe 1/5 of the cards each game, so you'll have a mix of different available spaces in different orders, but generally those spaces are more variations of color than different functions. Where things will change a bit is in the puzzle and the competition for those majorities. And while that puzzle is fairly quick, we did find ourselves coming back to it more than a few times, and we even introduced it to a few friends.
Inori works for 2 to 4 players, and we found that it felt fairly similar at all counts. At lower player counts, players have a couple more offering markers to make sure that things stay somewhat tight, and it largely works. We did find that at 4, there was a bit more competition for control of scoring tiles on the Great Tree, and there was a bit more jostling for position on the cards, while at 2, we tended to hold back a bit more on committing to the scoring tiles and more often had a card to ourselves. But because the game is light and quick, we didn't feel like the puzzle was noticeably different regardless of count.
Inori is going to appeal much more to players that want to play something a bit chill. It is very much a gateway worker placement game with a fairly simple system that players will pick up quickly, and it does provide a bit of gentle competition. And the key word here really is gentle. This is the sort of game you play while having a chit-chat and maybe drinking a beverage, and very much the kind of thing that will work well with your newer or non-gamer friends. And the pretty artwork goes a long way to making it a bit more welcoming. But just keep in mind that this is a gateway game, so don't expect big choices or tough systems. This is very much meant to be breezy worker placement, and that is exactly what it provides. So while it won't be a fit for people who want a taxing puzzle with a lot of systems, it is worth a play for folks that want something a bit more cozy to play on a lazy afternoon. And that is it. Have you played Inori? And what other gateway games might you recommend? Let us know in the comments, and please do like and subscribe, and hopefully we will see you all next time for another game.